Tracking developments out of the NFL, the Saints and Panthers have made offers to the Texans for Deshaun Watson. This comes according to NFL Network. Both Carolina and New Orleans plan to meet with Watson, who has a full no-trade clause. NFL Network also adding that other teams are involved. A grand jury declined to indict Watson Friday on charges of sexual misconduct. We're going to break down the latest with CBS senior NFL writer Jonathan Jones. JJ always working his sources here, trying to unearth some of the information regarding this Deshaun Watson situation. What's the latest you are hearing? Obviously, we know about the no trade clause, so the leverage, as you pointed out on Twitter, solely in his possession. What are the hurdles that need to be cleared to make a deal somewhere?
He truly does have the leverage by virtue of the no trade clause, also, frankly, by virtue of already sitting out the 2021 season and getting paid. The Houston Texans obviously aren't going to do that in 2022, and he's not going to be playing for the Houston Texans, and so a trade is absolutely going to happen, and a trade is going to happen to a place that he wants to go to. And so, Joe, whether the New Orleans Saints actually have their offer out there on the table to the Houston Texans or the Carolina Panthers or anyone else, it ultimately does not matter, because it only matters if Deshaun Watson wants to go there. The Detroit Lions could be offering the number 2 overall pick and draft picks for forever and ever, amen, but he doesn't want to go play in Detroit. So that doesn't matter. What does matter is when Deshaun Watson decides that he wants to meet with teams and who those teams will be. And so I can tell you that obviously the Saints, obviously the Carolina Panthers are interested, the Seattle Seahawks, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Cleveland Browns, all of those teams are also interested. Getting mixed signals on the Philadelphia Eagles and not hearing a whole lot out of Pittsburgh for the services of Deshaun Watson. But those teams that I addressed earlier very much in the mix for Deshaun Watson. And so what's the next step? Well, he is going to have to ask permission to speak with these teams as a sort of formal matter. He's going to get that permission to speak with teams. He's not going to waive his no trade clause, and this is important. He's not going to waive his no trade clause for 5 teams and then enter into discussions with those teams and then tell the Texans where he wants to go, because we're talking about leverage here. The Texans, of course, would want to take the best offer. He is going to ask permission to speak with teams. He and his representation will speak with those teams, whether that is the head coach and the general manager, ownership, some combination of those 3 things, and then he will decide where he wants to go. I'm told via sources that he's not in a rush to make his decision. So could something happen on Sunday night? Perhaps, but there's also the clock is ticking as it relates to free agency. And those teams like the Carolina Panthers and New Orleans Saints that have cap issues, that in this case of the Carolina Panthers, they want to spend that money on some other players if they're not going to get Deshaun Watson. Well, they want an answer sooner rather than later. But the Cleveland Browns, for example, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they don't necessarily have to have that answer right now. So it's difficult to really nail down a timeline. But if Deshaun Watson wants to ostensibly be a free agent and meet with teams and be courted, that is going to take some time. That can't be done in a day or in an evening. So this could absolutely drag out into Monday or Tuesday before the official start of free agency on Wednesday.
Our guy Jonathan Jones, always just one call away. Thank you, JJ. All right, taking a look at what the recent past has looked like for Deshaun. Again, sidelined for all of last season in 2020. Missed the playoffs following a 4-12 season in which he led the league in passing yards, but it did not equate to wins. He's 28-25 as a starter and perhaps headed to a new home.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.